Hi guys, so I've decided to do a second video on a totally different subject than my first video. I don't know what's wrong with me because I keep doing videos when I've not got any makeup on. Like, I've had makeup on today, I've been out with my family and I've had a full face of makeup on and I've had a bath and I've come home and I've put my chills on and I'm having a glass of vodka and pineapple and I've just got no makeup on, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to do that video, but I should have done it before when I had makeup on and I just keep doing it. So I just feel like this is going to be me now on YouTube. If my YouTube becomes a thing that I do regularly, sorry, that I just can never say that word, this is just going to be me, no makeup on. This, just get used to it basically. Little confession, it's 10 o'clock at night, my children are still awake. If you can hear any noise, I have shut the door, but if you can hear any noise, it's their iPads. So if anybody wants to troll me for, you know, bad mum club or whatever, they are on their iPads. But at the end of the day, I have 3 children, they're all girls. I have twins that are 6 and I have a 4-year-old. And any mum that's in a similar position to me knows that when you've got a minute on a Sunday night to just do something for you, you literally just stop caring about what they're doing right now. Since COVID, I don't know what day it is, we're homeschooling, literally it's 24/7 mum job as well as other things. Like, it's just chaos. So at the end of the day, iPads are allowed in their bedrooms certain nights when I don't want to do the no, go back to bed, no, go back to bed, because literally I've been watching so many of the Super Nanny where she goes, no, go back to bed, no, go back to bed, and I've tried it. Sorry guys, my camera fell. At the end of the day, I'm having a vodka, they're on their iPads, so what? Cheers. Okay, so let me get to the topic of why I'm doing this video. So I don't know if anybody has seen Britney Spears' Instagram lately. I'm sure that so many people have, because I know that it's been in the media, it's been in the press, everybody's talking about it. If you do go onto her Instagram, you'll see straight away exactly what this video is about. Now, I have been speaking to a few of my friends about this, you know, it's been like a really big topic. Everyone's been saying, oh, have you seen Britney Spears lately? Have you seen what's going on with her? And I have seen so many conspiracy theories online. It is literally crazy what is being said, and that is some of the things that I'm going to touch on in the video. What I do want to make a little disclaimer is that everything that I say in this video is allegedly. Like, obviously nobody knows for a certain fact. I don't want to say anything wrong. I don't want to offend anyone. Everything that I say is coming from a good place. It's just my opinion as well. So I just think we should all be able to have our own opinion. That is the beauty of life, and it's nice to be able to hear what other people think. So Sam, his name is Sam Asghari. I hope I've said that right, I'm not sure. He's Persian descent, but he moved with his parents from Iran when he was very young. I know that he's 25 years old. I know that Britney is 36, so it's like an 11-year age difference, which is totally cool. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think it's cool when the girls are the older ones, because it's normally like men that are older than women. And I feel like recently, in this day and age, we're seeing a lot more women being the older ones. And I just think that's totally cool, because women can do what men can do. There's no double standards. And I do feel like as time goes on, there is, I'm really sorry about that, because I do have, you know, my kids are still awake. So he's a personal trainer, he's a model, and that's what it says online. But when I've actually looked into his Instagram and his social media, I can see that he is actually like an actor as well. He does a lot of music videos, he does a lot of fitness videos. I don't know if he actually personal trains people like on a day-to-day, but I know that he's quite into his fitness. I've seen that he's done like before and afters. Like, I think he used to be quite much bigger, and he's now gone straight into fitness, and he's dramatically changed himself, and he looks amazing. Like, he looks like a positive person, and his videos are really positive, they're really motivational. I feel like he's one of those people that you follow to give you that little bit of motivation if you wanted to do fitness and things like that. So he's, from what I can see, seems like a good guy. He doesn't seem like a bum. He seems like he's got his own stuff going on as well. Obviously he's nowhere near as successful as Britney, but what I'm saying is he doesn't seem like some of the ones that she's actually been with in the past. I think that he's got a big family from what I can see as well. I think he's quite a family oriented person. Something that I think was quite interesting is that it seems as though you'd think that he's only just got with Britney, with the way that the press go on about things and the way that it is on her Instagram. Like, for some reason, this Sam guy has only just been starting to get spoken about recently, as though he's like a new guy in Britney's life. But he's actually been with Britney since 2016. That's nearly 5 years. And I just think that's crazy, because that's a long time. You know, I've been with my husband for 7 years, and that seems like so long. Like, we've got 3 children, like, it seems like a bloody lifetime. So for me to think that they've been together for nearly 5 years, they're going to have a massive connection. That's not just any guy that's in Britney's life. Like, that is a guy that she's very serious about. That is, you know, that is a really long-term relationship. So I think that's really interesting to bear in mind, because it's not just Sam that's different in Britney's life, which is why obviously the Instagram lately is a bit bizarre and is very different to what she's normally posting. So at the minute she's going through this conservatorship. I know she's going through the courts. She's facing this legal battle with her father, and this is a thing, this is a fact. Basically, he controls over all of her estate, all of her assets, all of her money, her brand, everything that she gets. Because don't forget, she's continuously earning money even when she's not doing anything. Like, that's like the dream, right? Because she's done so much, she's got royalties, anything that's got her brand on it, she is earning money always, even if she doesn't want to get out of bed. Like, she'll always earn money now. Her brand will always earn money. But the thing is, she's not earning any of it. She's getting an allowance. This is like being a child. Like, can you imagine, you know, working all your life, doing amazing, and then your dad being like, okay, you can have this much per month. Like, basically, Britney's estate is now like a limited company. It's the only way I can explain it. And I don't know if you have limited companies in America, but basically a limited company is like a company that's owned by one or however many people, and when the company starts earning money, you can't just take that money, you get paid a wage. So her brand, he's treating it like a business, like a limited company, and just giving her a set allowance to live on. She's not allowed to just go and buy a car, or just think, do you know what, I want a new house, I can afford it. Or, do you know what, I want a 24-carat ring because, do you know what, I worked my ass off for all them many years. No, because the dad won't let her. That's bullshit. Like, if you ask me, that's just bizarre. So I'm just having my vodka. I can already feel it, like, literally, since I'm a mum, I already had one, I'm not gonna lie, I have had one before this one. It's like my second, but I have one and I'm like buzzed, and I'm like, that's enough for me. Like, if I was out now and I started to feel the cold air, I'd be like, whoo, Jesus. But because I'm at home and my kiddies are in bed, it's nice to just have two. I'll have a lovely sleep. I'm just hoping I won't have like a massive headache. So anyway, so Britney hasn't got the best relationship with her dad at the minute, but from what I've seen, that wasn't always the case. She had a good relationship with her dad. I think basically what happened was when Britney had a meltdown in 2008, when she shaved her head, when all that went down, when she got the umbrella out, she lost custody of her children, and I think that just sent her off the edge. Like, I think that, to be honest, would send anybody off the edge. But I think what people need to bear in mind is Britney Spears is not a normal person. What I mean by that is it's nothing to do with her mental health or anything like that. What I mean is she is not a normal person. She never will be a normal person. She's never had the normal life. She went from being a child star, from being very young, you know, there's videos of her in the Mickey Mouse Club and singing, from being 5 years of age. From that age, when you're most vulnerable, when you're learning, she has just been pushed into the limelight, and Hollywood and all of what that brings with it has been her whole life. Like, she's not ever not had that. Sometimes you get child stars that are child stars, and then for whatever reason they stop being famous, they go and they live their normal life. But Britney has just been so famous, super famous, not even just a little bit famous. She has been super famous her whole life. She's an icon. She's never not had a camera lens on her. She's never not had reporters following her around. What this is a woman that has just had her whole life broadcast, and she's never been away from that. Anything she does, any decisions she makes, any mistakes she makes. Think about when you're growing up, when you're a teenager. Can you imagine all the mistakes that you made? Can you imagine having that broadcasted? Every relationship that's failed, everything that has gone on in your life, you've been judged on. You've read however many words about you, nasty things written about you, things that are not true written about you, to the point where you just feel like you're so trapped. And again, it's that, you know, you've got all these people around you, but you're so lonely because nobody knows what it's like to be you. And I think that's what's happened. You know, when she went and got married in a day, like, these are just things. And then it blew up, and it was in every single newspaper. If you're a normal person and you get drunk overnight and you go get married, and then the next day you think, shit, let's sort that out, nobody's judging you on it. You can keep it a secret, sort it out the next day. It's done and dusted. It doesn't happen for Britney. Everything she does is spoken about. It's made times 10. It's magnified. And that must be almost torture sometimes, especially when it's your children are brought into it. So when she got with Kevin, the backup dancer, you know, when he came on the scene, everyone was slating him. He was the chav. I don't know if you have chav in the USA, but chav in England is like the scruffy, like common type of guy. You know, he was almost like trailer trash. That's what they were saying about him. I'm sure he's not that, but that's what people were saying about him. And then when Britney got with him, she started dressing a certain way. I remember reading where she had her hair in a bun, she was pregnant, she was drinking milkshakes, and she was just wearing like tank tops, and he was wearing a tank top. And they were saying like they were like trailer trash. Like, that's how they were saying it. Like, she'd met this guy, now she'd become like trashy like him. And when you're pregnant, like, you don't want to be bloody wearing, you know, heels and being glam all the time. Like, you just don't want that. But because she's Britney Spears, she's expected to just be a certain way all of the time. And if she's not, then everyone's on her. And what's up with Britney? So she went through that. That was obviously a tumultuous relationship. That was obviously a bad relationship. I know there was a lot that went on. They didn't last very long. They had 2 children. I know that there was like things where she had her little boy on her knee and she was driving with him on the knee, and then that went everywhere, and then she was bad mother of the century. Listen, Imagine, like, I do things all the time, I make mistakes all the time being a mum, and I can't imagine someone broadcasting my mistakes and magnifying them and saying, you're a bad mum. Like, that must be horrendous. And there was so much that went on when her children were very young, where every 2 minutes she was getting called a bad mum. Every 2 minutes. And you know, if you read something so many times about yourself, you start to believe that it's true. So, you know, Britney starts questioning herself as a mother. She starts feeling she's not very good at being a mum. And she starts judging herself, and she starts feeling sort of not good enough to be a mum, and that affects your relationship and it affects your self-esteem. And I think that's the worst thing for a mother, is to feel like a bad mother. Like, there's nothing worse than that feeling. And we've all gone through it. We've all been there where we feel like we're a bad mum. Every mum has gone through that for whatever reason. We've been through that fear. So it's not nice. But I think when people are telling you you're a bad mum, that's a different thing altogether. Like, that's horrendous. So they break up, and then she has a crisis. 2008, she ends up kind of being really unwell with her mental health, obviously. But there was a lot that led up to that. She was doing very strange things back then. There's actually videos on YouTube of her speaking in a British accent to reporters all the time. Like, there's loads of different videos that have been done on different days where she's literally speaking in just a British accent, and obviously she doesn't have a British accent, and she's just doing it as though this is normal, like this is her now. There's videos where she just looks dazed, and she's walking around the supermarket, and she's being really polite to the journalists and the paparazzi. There's videos where the paps are just literally in her face saying horrible things, and she's still not saying anything. Like, there's just so many videos from that era, 2008, 2009, where you can tell she's slipping. And at that point, somebody should have helped her, but instead of getting help, she's got cameras in her face, she's got shit going on with her ex, he's being a bit of a dick. You know, the cameras are now, the journalists are now turning on her, they're calling her a bad mum, they're there at every minute of the day, they're ready to capture her making other mistakes so that can go up. You know, so she loses her shit, which I think would happen to the best of us. And she had these extensions in her hair, and they were getting all ratty, and also she wasn't brushing her hair. And anybody knows now, it's funny because in 2008, nobody really cared about mental health like they do now. Now, you know, you've got to be very careful about what you say about certain things. But back then, you say what you want, nobody cares. It wasn't as much of a support system online. We wasn't as much as talk about it. There wasn't as much of that. So what people realise now is that any person that's depressed, one of the main symptoms is that they'll stop looking after themselves. When somebody is significantly depressed, they'll stop brushing their hair because they don't care about themselves anymore. And it'll be the smallest things, like taking a brush to your hair, where you just think, I don't care about myself. I'm not giving myself that maintenance. I don't care anymore. You know, you'll wake up, you won't shower, like, because you're depressed, you're medically unwell. And at the end of the day, that's what was happening to Britney in 2008. She'd gone through this horrible relationship. She was getting absolutely slaughtered in the press. She stopped brushing her hair. So then what happened was, she had these extensions, and it was back in the day where they were those thick bonds. They were so hard to upkeep anyway. They got all matted really bad, to the point where she just couldn't, they were unmanageable. So one of her friends said, we're not going to get these knots out, you're going to have to cut them out. And she was just there and then in a salon, passing a salon, and she just, I can't imagine the feeling of it. And I can imagine she just thought, I'll just get it all off my hair and I'll just start again. But as it is with Britney, and any mistake or anything that she does, the paparazzi were there waiting. What happened then was, they got the ultimate moment that is still a meme to this day of her taking the clippers and shaving off her hair. And instead of it being Britney Spears has sunk into ultimate depression, has not wanted to brush her hair and has so clippered off her hair, it was Britney Spears has lost her mind and she's just shaved her head. As though you're just a mental person that is just gone one day, like, do you know what? Because I've lost my mind, I'm just going to shave my head. Well, that wasn't what happened. It wasn't that. She had her extensions were matted because she'd not been looking after herself. And so she just had to cut it off. But because the paparazzi and the journalists and the media, which are just evil, they just turned it into this big thing. So not only that, she's had all that, she's split up with Kevin now. Then she's had the bad mum. Then she's had, you know, all these other little things that have led to this situation. Then she's gone into this ultimate depression because she is suffering with her mental health at this point. She's in a really bad way mentally at this point. She's unwell, so she shaves her head. Then there's a video of her in an ambulance undressed that goes viral over all these newspaper tabloids, and then there's a situation then where Kevin uses this all against Britney, really. So what happens then is obviously Britney shaved her head, the whole world's seen that. So now Kevin has got basically everybody on his side. Everyone now thinks that Britney has lost her mind. So then he's going through this court case and the custody battle, and so she just flips her lid, and then there's that thing where she's got the umbrella to his car and she's smashing his car up, and then people were saying, oh my god. And obviously it looks even worse because she's doing it with a bald head, because, you know, a few days before that or a week before that or whatever, she'd shaved her hair off and that had been all over the press. So from her point of view, she's making these, you know, mistakes and things that she's doing that look really bad, and it's just all not working out for her. And the poor girl is just almost digging this hole for herself, not even knowing that she is doing that at the time. She's just living her life and going through the situation that she's in with her mental health, and, you know, she needs love and support at that time, but instead she's got all these press and paparazzi and everybody attacking her, and she just goes downhill. So at that point she ends up losing custody to Kevin. Apparently, I think what happened was there was a situation where there was a bit of a showdown. Britney locked herself in the bathroom with her 1-year-old son. It took 4 hours for the police to get them out. But you've got to think, right, if you separate a mother from her child, the natural mother love in you is going to go crazy. If you are getting in between a mother and their offspring with any species, animal, whatever, if you do that, the mother is going to attack, which she did on his car. The mother is going to want to fight you. The mother is just going to feel so helpless and going to, you know, is going to lose her mind. Like, that would happen to the best of us. And that's because you love your children. So she goes through all that, the poor girl. And then her dad steps in at this point because her dad and all her family are worried about her. And at the time, you know, they have every right to be worried about Britney at this moment. I'm sure any dad would be worried about their daughter at this point. You know, the daughter's not going through a good time right now. They do need the support, they do need the love. And what her dad, Jamie, has said is that in 2008, Britney was very mentally unwell. She was just unwell in general, and she was going through a lot of things at the time where her mind was not in the right place to be managing her finances and her estate and her brand X, Y, and Z. Which I agree with that in a part, because there always is a lot of predators when you've got lots of money, especially when you're someone like Britney Spears, you know, there's going to be a lot of predators ready to jump on you, ready to take advantage of you, and they can come in many different forms. And so I can understand the parents of Britney Spears at that time wanting to be careful and protect their daughter and their daughter's future and everything that their daughters work for, and to make sure that while their daughter's going through this situation and isn't in the right space of mind to look after everything properly and make sure that nothing bad happens, that they would need to protect that and step in. I agree with that, and I think had this have been a temporary thing, there would have been nothing wrong with that. But what's happened, I think, is actually the dad has taken advantage of his daughter, and we'll go into that. So what happened then was the dad gained a conservatorship, which basically meant that while Britney was unwell, every decision would go through the dad. And it wasn't just decisions on the estate and the finances, it was also decisions in Britney's personal life, in her health, in her legal problems that she had going on with her husband, everything. It's like almost being a child, like everything had to now go through her dad. Her dad was now her legal guardian, and that was it. So then obviously Britney went to rehab, got better, come out of rehab, and went straight back to work. So she then went on numerous tours, played in Las Vegas. She had a massive contract with Las Vegas, actually, which only ended in 2017, and that was actually Britney's last performance, was in Las Vegas. So obviously Britney's still making money. Now, what people are saying, which is a very valid question, is if Britney was fine enough to go and still continue to work and make money, then why was she not okay enough to have the control again for her finances and her life? And I think that's a valid question, and it's something that her dad has not yet answered. The Free Britney movement started in 2009, only 1 year after the conservatorship, and that was because people then, not as many people as now, but a small number of people back then could see that this was a problem, and it was problematic, and that this was going to ruin Britney's life, because obviously Britney was going to lose control over her life and was being maybe manipulated in this now large business operation. It's not like a family situation, it's like a business, because you've got an asset, which is a human being, that has got to go out now and make money for the estate, but that's also your daughter. You're saying you're worried about her well-being, and so you've got to look after everything, but then you're shipping her out to work. And apparently there's been many times where she didn't want to do these jobs. And from interviews with makeup artists and people that have worked very closely with Britney, they have all said that there'd be times where she wouldn't want to work and she'd refuse. And her dad would almost force her, because he had so much control over that she has to abide by his wishes, because almost, you know, you do this for me, I'll do this for you. And she doesn't have any other control, so she has to make those deals and those agreements with her dad. So, going back to the conservatorship, because this is what the main thing is all about with the Free Britney. So it's a real thing. It's been going on now for 12 years, since 2008. It basically means that she has no control, which I've touched on before. Now, there's an actual ongoing legal battle now where Britney does not want her dad Jamie to be the head of this conservatorship anymore. She doesn't want that anymore. She recently appointed her mum and her sister Jamie Lee, who I think they're very close, to now be trustees of this, because apparently, this is one of the weird things which I find unusual, is Britney Spears still wants the conservatorship to still be about. She's not actually campaigning or going to court, I should say, for this to not be a thing. It's voluntary. She still wants it. She wants a gradual return to the full control of her life, I don't know for what that reason is. Maybe she's scared. Maybe she's just so used to the control that now she doesn't want to make a bad decision. But what she does want is she wants a professional firm of financial advisors and a full legal team to now be the head of her estate and not her dad. She wants her dad fully removed from the estate. Now, her dad's not happy about that, and this is where I fail again to see why, because I think, what is it for you? Like, your daughter and your other daughter both are in agreement that they think that this should be a professional company to come in and be the heads, and they've got, you know, the experience, and, you know, maybe they can make Britney more money and invest the money. You know, you have this when you're rich. When you're rich, you have these team, and they invest your money and they protect your money and all of that. That's what they do. But what it is her dad has had 12 years of, one, being paid a wage from the estate. Let's main thing, circle that one. Very, very high wage from just managing the estate. That's the main one. 2, not just having a wage, having control of that estate. I mean, he's Mr. Powerful Man. He's going into these meetings and they're not there to impress Britney. They have to impress him. He's going for these business lunches in Beverly Hills Hotel or wherever, and he's Mr. Powerful Man because he holds the golden ticket. He's got the golden goose, and at the end of the day, everything goes through him. So he's been used to 12 years of that level of power. He controls everything. You know, it's big business what he does. It's, you know, there's a lot of money getting changed hands, and he, you know, he obviously likes that position. He's probably gained many friends, contacts, and also he dishes out the money to where everyone goes, and he's just obsessed with that level of control. So he does not want a team to now come in because he's going to lose his wage and he's going to lose that control. So the only reasons why I can see now of why he doesn't want to not be the main control of the estate is for selfish reasons. Because I understand you being worried about your daughter and taking control in 2008 when you thought she was vulnerable to people taking advantage of her. Fine, I would do that for my children. However, to do it for this long and for the reasons that you're doing it now, that's very different. And now it makes me question why you did it in 2008 and whether it was for the right reasons back then. But what I do know is that it's not for the right reasons now. It's for a money reason on your own daughter, and that's just sick. And I did see some pictures of her with her sons from 2019. I think she took them to Disneyland, and I just didn't think that they looked super close. I think Britney was near them, and they, you know, you can tell Britney really loves her children. But I think there has been a wedge between her and her children just because of her not having full custody and her being almost separated from her children numerous times. And I just think that's so sad because her children are so grown up now, and I remember them as babies, and then when I seen these pictures, they're so grown up, they look like teenagers, and it almost looked in the picture like they didn't know each other. I mean, you know, I could be wrong, but that's just how it looked. I know you can't tell from a picture, but I could just the way they were standing just almost looked awkward. And it just made me feel so sad looking at it because I just felt so bad for Britney. I thought, you know, it's just not fair, everything that's happened to her. It's just not fair, and I do feel really bad for her. And there's all these conspiracy theories, which I'm going to touch on in a minute, but I actually think that it's not as dark as people are going on about. And obviously I think I've got my own thoughts and everyone's going to think their own thing, but I actually just think that Britney has just got to that point in her life where she thinks, I'm going to eat what I want, I'm going to do what I want, I'm going to dance the way I want, nobody's going to tell me what to do anymore, I'm going to post the pictures that I want to post. I've had so much control every inch of my life since being 5, and now I'm just going to do what the fuck I want. And that's what I see. when I look at the Instagram. That's what I see. So in a way, I actually feel happy for her, because I feel like she's finally feeling free, and I do hope she gets her stuff sorted out. So theories that I've heard, I'm just going to read out quickly. So one of them was saying that it's not Britney actually in the Instagram, it's somebody else, almost like a clone or a lookalike or whatever, and that it's her dad running the Instagram account. Now, I understand why people are saying this. I do think Britney looks very different recently to what she looked like years ago, but what we've got to understand is, you know, she has aged. She doesn't have Botox or fillers or filters like many other people do. Like, if we're talking about Kim K always looks the same because she has the same filter and she has the same filter and the same Photoshop, and she has the same fillers and plastic surgeons. So, you know, we've got someone like her, and we just always expect people to look the same, and you know, people are allowed to age. So I do think she's aging. I think she looks beautiful. Like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with how she looks. I think she looks normal, and I think it's refreshing, and it's nice to see a normal woman, and I actually think that's what she's trying to showcase as well. Other things is why she looks different. People are saying that she's got a gap in her teeth, and her teeth look different, and her teeth look very different. I agree. There is a few reasons why, though, that could be the case. So she has a gap in her front tooth. Now, she could just have stopped wearing her retainer. I have a retainer. I have to wear it every night. She might just have to stop wearing it, because if I stop wearing mine, my teeth would start moving, because I have braces. So it could be that. Or she could have had composite bonding. A lot of people have bonding to sort of get rid of any gaps in the teeth. She could have had that, and it might have fell out, or it might have wore off, and she might just say, I don't want to fix it, I'm going to be me. And like I said, maybe she's got to that point in her life where she just wants to be authentic and genuine and not be controlled. And, you know, she was so manufactured as a person, as a pop star, and she was told to be this, wear this, do this, be this way, you know, and now maybe she just thinks, I'm just doing me. So that could just be it. Another conspiracy theory is like these red roses, and people saying that she's posting the same picture so many times, and a lot of people think there's a lot of messages hidden within her posts. I know, and she's got the videos where she's dancing on and off and whatever, and it is very strange. I'm not gonna lie, it's very bizarre, it's odd. You watch it and you almost feel like it's a joke. I know when I first started watching, when she first started doing it, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like a promo to something, and it was all going to come out that it was a promo, but it's not a joke. And you know what we have to remember is maybe she's still got mental health issues, or maybe again she's just being her authentic self. Maybe she wants to do these dances, and maybe she just is having fun, and maybe she's almost trolling everyone. That's another thought that I thought. Maybe she's almost trolling people, and she's like enjoying the fact that people are having all these conspiracy theories. Maybe she finds it funny. Maybe she's doing these crazy things because it's giving her the attention, and maybe she is trying to sort her life out and get back on track with her career, and maybe she's just got the ultimate attention. Everyone's eyes are on her. Or maybe she wanted to bring attention to the Free Britney movement because it's helping her legal case, her get back control of her estate. So maybe it was that. You know, there's so many other reasons what it could be. But it could just be her, and it could just be how she wants to be. And I know that her boyfriend keeps commenting comments of encouragement, saying you're amazing, and he doesn't seem shocked by any of it. Her family, her sister who she's so close with, comments encouraging things. They don't seem shocked by any of it. So none of her close people are acting as though this is odd. They're all acting like this is quite normal for Britney. We don't know what the truth is. However, my opinion is that it's not the dark, crazy thing. This is a woman that is finally getting her life back on track. She seems very much in love with her boyfriend, who she's been with for nearly 5 years. She seems like she's seen her children again. She's going on outings with her children. She seems like she's happy. She seems like a good, healthy weight. She seems like she's dancing and she's being active and she's healthy. She just seems like she's, you know, really happy. She seems very positive. I just think that this is somebody that is trying to get her life back on track. And finally live the rest of the years of her life the way that she wants to live it, without anybody telling her how she should be. And if that is the case, I think that's actually quite beautiful and nice. So that's the end of my video. I just wanted to sort of touch on what I think is going on with Britney, a bit of the backstory, and hopefully makes people see different side to it, and maybe think about things now differently. And maybe everyone that watches this could go show Britney some support on her videos. I know I have, because I think whatever's going on, everything for now should be shown to Britney with love. Because honestly, when I've researched her backstory and what she's been through, like, I feel so sad for her, and I honestly think she's a lovely person. I think she's so kind, and I just think she's had such horrible luck in her life with different relationships, with just things that have gone wrong, mistakes that she's made, things that she's done in the public eye. I just think she's been absolutely terrorized from day one, and I just think she needs support now. Instead of people questioning her, people should just support her as a person, because at the end of the day, she's allowed to do whatever she wants. She's a grown woman, and as long as she's happy, it doesn't matter. I am going to be doing another video soon. As I said, I've ordered a camera. I'm so excited about it. It comes in like 2 days, so hopefully my next video will be with my new camera. I don't know how good it will be. I don't know if I'll be able to use the camera. I'm going to try edit my next video. I'm literally going to be like a YouTube pro on my next video. Lol. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my vodka. I've like hardly drunk it since I've been doing this video, because I've just been so animated on the subject, but I'm going to enjoy this. I hope everyone has a lovely night.